Given that the Torah is frequently called the 5 books of Moses, there's an interesting description of Moses that I want to talk about this week. Shalom, my friends. Yes, in the section of the book of Numbers that's being read this weekend in synagogues all over the world, Moses is described as the most humble man on the face of the earth. But what is really intriguing is the context in which this statement is made. It comes smack in the middle of a story in Numbers chapter 12, in which his 2 older siblings, Aaron and Miriam, speak critically about Moses for marrying a Cushite woman. They are also jealous of the relationship between God and Moses. They point out that they too are prophets of God. Then suddenly comes a sentence that seems to have nothing to do with the story. Listen to this. They said, "Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us as well? The Lord heard it." Now here it comes. Moses was a very humble man, more so than any other man on earth. Suddenly the Lord called to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, "Come out, you 3, to the tent of meeting." So the 3 of them went out. So why is it, for seemingly no reason, does the text tell us about Moses being so humble? One obvious answer is that his humility prevented him from defending himself to his brother and sister. But the obvious answer is not always the best answer. And I think that it is not the best answer here. Why not? First, because humble and meek are 2 different things. Moses stood up against the most powerful man in the world, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. He even stood up to God himself when God wanted to wipe out the Israelites and give Moses a new nation to lead. Moses told God that if he did that, then God should wipe out Moses from the Torah, and God acquiesced. I wouldn't blame Moses if his reaction was something like this.
"I must be the greatest. I told the world, I talk to God every day. If God's with me, can't nobody be against me."
Therefore, I don't think the reference to his humility explains the part of the story that came before it. If not, it must explain what comes after it, and the text hints at exactly that. It does so with the phrase, "The Lord heard it." Do we have to be told that God heard their words? Doesn't the Bible presume God is all-knowing? So of course God heard it. But what that phrase is really telling us is that only God heard it. Moses did not hear it, and that is why he does not speak up for himself. So we're still left with the question of why Moses, being so humble, is mentioned. And I believe it's to explain what God is about to tell Aaron and Miriam. That is precisely because of his great humility that Moses enjoys a unique relationship with God. We read God saying, "Hear these my words. When a prophet of the Lord arises among you, I make myself known to him in a vision. I speak with him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. Throughout my household he is faithful. When I speak with him, I speak mouth to mouth, plainly and not in riddles, and he beholds the likeness of the Lord." The key words here are servant and faithful. Moses was God's most faithful servant, but he did not flaunt his relationship with God in front of others. Had he not been a man of such humility, he never would have had the relationship he did with God, one of serving God simply for the sake of service itself, not for any selfish reason like wanting to be powerful or important. This is no small thing. This is a very important lesson for all leaders and indeed for all people. When you do good, do it only for the sake of goodness itself, not for self-aggrandizement. I believe that is the lesson we're meant to learn from this story. Do let me know what you think in the comments box. And so, I humbly thank our new patrons, Bruce and Pam, as well as all of our patrons whose names are on the screen now. Thank you also to all who have subscribed to the channel. We are getting close to 700 subscribers, and I'm hopeful that soon we will reach 1,000. Every patron, every subscriber, and every thumbs up like that we get on YouTube helps to put these videos in front of more viewers. To become a patron, use the link in the description box underneath the video. To become a subscriber, simply click on my face right over here, or watch my last video by clicking on its icon right over there. As ever, until next time, Shabbat Shalom.